Welcome to Guitar Town. Gibson, there's like we talked about. Gibson had sort of two body shapes that they did of their jumbo guitars with the J prefix. And I don't know. I guess they coined the term jumbo because Martin never used that to refer to their big guitars. But the J185 and the J200. Are basically based on big jazz boxes. When it gets right down to it, the body shapes are similar. They're similar to other things that Gibson has built. But they were kind of going after Martin to compete with him directly when they came up with what most people associate with the J series Gibsons, which are Gibson's version of the dreadnought, which is a sloped shoulder dreadnought is the way it's usually described. Later on, Gibson made some square-shouldered dreadnoughts, and we'll talk about those. The Hummingbird was the first one, and the Country and Western which came along in 57 or 56 or 57, based on this body shape, was switched over to a square-shouldered dreadnought. Doves and Hummingbirds are all square-shouldered. They're all kind of their own beasts, and we'll do something about those sort of specialty dreadnoughts. But this is the basic original Gibson jumbos. There was the Roy Smeck guitars, which were designed to be Hawaiian guitars, and I have one, and I will do just a show on that guitar because it deserves its own show. It's a conversion that Tom Crandall built, and it's a monster. This is the oldest jumbo that I have. Besides that, the Roy Smeck I have is a 1939. This guitar is a guitar I looked for years, which is a 1939 J35. The first time I was even aware J35s existed, I'd only seen 45s and 50s when I got to Nashville in 74. And then a woman called Lola Scobie, who had a little publishing company, she had a J35, and I wanted it so bad. That one was sunburst. This one has a natural top. It's a lot like the later Gibsons, which are kind of the Americana hipster warhorse, that you see everybody playing, because Gibson makes them in Montana and makes better J series guitars probably than they ever have technically when they come out of the factory. The neck's a little bigger, a little fatter, and it's let's see what else would be different. It has stenciled on the instead of inlay on the headstock, which is common for just sort of working class guitars like Gibson made. Biggest difference between this and the later deal is Gibson hadn't come up with a belly bridge yet, hadn't followed Martin down that road. Martin was already Martin was already doing it, but the bridge on this is just a straight bridge, and it's a great sounding guitar. It's one of the best that I own. Then this is a 1950 J45. And when I found this guitar, I jumped on it because Ray Kennedy owns a 1950 J45, and that's a guitar you've heard on a lot of my records. It's the guitar on I Feel Alright. Lucinda Williams has fallen in love with that guitar, Ray's, and she's been using it on everything she's been recording over there lately. This one I think is as good as that one is. It's evidently a really good year. So by that time, there is a belly bridge, which is this thing, the belly here, which Martin came up with and started putting this belly in the bridges, and different Gibsons, sometimes the belly is on the inside, sometimes it's on the outside. It's weird. They flip them around. We'll talk about that later with another series of guitars. This one's sunburst. J45s were, the middle of this line, basically, and, I don't know, maybe I've heard that Gibson used sunburst and kind of pioneered it because they weren't as particular about the spruce tops that they used. And Gibsons were, the Gibson dreadnoughts especially, they're copying Martin and trying to do it and beat the price point, and when they're competing with Martin. And they did. A lot of people swear by Gibson guitars. There's some differences. The backs and sides on vintage Gibsons are never solid wood. They're always laminated, or the sides always are. The backs can be solid sometimes. The tops are solid. And this is a 1950 J45. I'm going to play the latest of these vintage Gibson jumbos that I have. And it might be the best of the three. They all sound pretty good. This is a 1955 Gibson J50. A J50 is a J45 with a with a blonde top instead of a sunburst top. This one in '55 they came along with this different shaped pick guard, which is similar to what's on the Country and Western, which is really the same guitar with different position markers, a little fancier. And the Country and Western, the Southern Jumbo, one's natural, one's sunburst. That's really the only difference between those two models fundamentally. And I really do like this guitar quite a bit. And I don't know, I think I was probably using a J100 when we recorded this, but I'm going to do it on this 1955, which is the year I was born, Gibson J50. My granddaddy was a miner, but he finally saw the light. Didn't have much, just a beat-up truck and a dream about a better life. Grandmama cried when she waved goodbye. You never heard such a lonesome sound. Pretty soon left, turning the blacktop, Detroit City found. Down that hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway goes on and on. He wept and he said his money so that someday he might sing. Oh man, off to college he used his brains and not his hands. Grandmama cried when she waved goodbye. You never heard such a lonesome sound. Daddy had himself a good job in Houston, one more rolling down that old hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway. On, here we go. Granddaddy rolled over in his grave the day I quit school. Just sat around the house playing my guitar. Daddy said I was a fool. Grandmama cried when she waved goodbye. You never heard such a lonesome sound. Now I'm standing on this highway. If you're going my way, you know where I'm bound. Down that hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway, that old hillbilly highway goes on and on. Hey, my pretty mama, that's the road I'm on. (1939) J35, 1950 J45, and 1955 J50. See y'all.